Here's another Lakewood HV18 comparison. This time we're comparing the 1970s HV18 to a 1994 model. And these are both extremely powerful fans. The performance did not degrade in any way whatsoever from the 70s to the 90s. Both are very tough and extremely well built. This barely flexes at all. And the same goes for this. This is also very well built. They're both made in USA. And like I said, this one's from 1994. I know this one's from the 70s, I just don't know exactly which year it's from. Both of them have grounded cords. This is the one for the 70s Lakewood, and this is the one for the 90s Lakewood. So, both are 18 inches, obviously. Both fans have steel blades, and they both have a lot of pitch. You can see how extreme the pitch on this one is, and it's the same way on the 90s model. So, like I said, they're both steel blades. The major difference between the two is the motors. This is a 5 amp Westinghouse shaded pole motor. This thing holds a ton of power, but it's also a very, very powerful motor. This could easily handle a blade larger than an 18 inch. This could probably handle a 20 or a 24 inch blade without a problem. And it does have oil ports on it. So yeah, this is a really good motor. It's obviously it draws a ton of power, but you know, it's a super reliable design. And here we have the speed control at the bottom: off, high, medium, low. This is a 3-speed fan. No capacitor anywhere because it is shaded pole, and it's huge. And moving over to the Lakewood HV18, or well, the 90s Lakewood HV18. This one has a 2.4 amp Macmillan permanent split capacitor motor. So this is a PSC motor. Zoom in on the amps. You can see it says 2.4 amps. It's got the switch right here on this little housing on the back. You can see the back of the motor there. I did take this motor apart and clean it out and oil it when I got this fan, which was last winter. Today I just vacuumed the guards off completely, and I actually washed the front guard. And I washed the blades with soap and water, but there's a lot of paint on them, so that's why they look the way they do. So, yeah. There is another look at the Macmillan motor, and these are very powerful motors too. They can definitely handle 20-inch blades without a problem. The slightly newer Lakewood HV18s from the 90s have the switch up here. It's a little bit more convenient, but they use a Macmillan 2.4 amp motor just like these do, and they use the same blade set. Now some of these had, from the earlier 90s, had Samsung motors, and I actually have one with a Samsung motor, so there was a bit of a variety. This fan, or this motor, has oil ports in the front and back, just like the Westinghouse on this one. So I'll go ahead and we'll start this one up. This one, actually I'll start this one up first. This one has a nice quiet low speed to it, which I like. Alright, let's go up to high with the 90s version. What I really like about this one is the nice, quiet, low speed. So that got very good difference in speeds. The thing with this one is the motor is so overpowered for this fan that there's not really a huge difference in speeds. I mean, low is, noticeably quieter than high, but not as much as you'd get, or not as much as this one. Alright, we'll start her up on high just so you can hear the motor. Alright, so there's this one. Now it's time to run the 70s HV18. And watch the amps as this one comes up to speed. This pulls a lot more electricity. It's on low right now. This motor has a ton of torque. It really does. It shakes the whole fan. You get like a clunking when it starts up. That's how much torque it has. Now when I got this fan, the pitch on the blades was kind of messed up. It's like they had been damaged or something. You can see how the blade sort of goes that way a little bit. Well, you can see how the edge of the blade is angled. That's what I'm talking about. Two of them were actually angled backwards at the end of the blade for some reason. It still moved a ton of air, but it was very off balance, and it just didn't sound right. It sounds a lot better now, and it probably runs slightly slower on low because there's more load on the motor, so that's good. I'll go ahead and start this thing up again to high just so you can hear it. Alright. And this thing takes a while to spin down just like this one, so overall they're both extremely high quality fans. Both have really good motors. I've had very good luck with these Macmillan PSC motors. They're both 4-pole. When I was in school, the classrooms all had stand versions of these Lakewood HV18s, and they had exactly the same motor. And those things were never cleaned or oiled, and they ran year after year after year in hot classrooms. So I think these are probably some of the best high velocity fan motors out there. And of course this one is awesome just because it's so big and powerful. And I'm sure it's quite reliable as well. Obviously if it made it this long, it's reliable. So yeah. Thank you for watching.